Hi, in this short video we're going to be talking about implementing a management system, and we're going to talk about 5 key steps that should be followed. So what do we mean about implementing a management system? Well, implementation of a management system is about getting the most out of your system and not simply it being a suite of documents. This means that we want to engage, communicate, identify roles and responsibilities for the successful outcome of the system, and of course we want to promote openness with the use of the system in our workforce. So why is it important? Well, people are at the centre of our business, and therefore we must ensure that people are at the centre of our management system and its functionality. Without a successful implementation of a management system, then effectively we just have a suite of documents, processes, policies, procedures. They only become a true management system when the people that are involved really embrace them and use them. So let's talk about step 1, communication. So starting from the top down, in order for a successful implementation of a system to happen, we have to ensure that our leaders are communicating well with the workforce from top to bottom of what it is that we are trying to achieve. And importantly, what the benefits to the organisation and people within the organisation are. We must ensure that this communication is clear, concise, and is followed through. Step 2 is all about awareness. Remember, I explained that people are at the centre of what it is that we do in our business, and therefore we need to make them aware of the practices that we're expecting them to follow, and therefore why we use awareness as part of a key step of our implementation plan. What is it that we need them to be aware of? How they are going to undertake the practices we expect them to? What the implications are of them not following our management system once implemented. It's important that our awareness is followed up with regular engagement and conversation. Remember, it's people that are at the centre of our systems. They only know what we want them to know, and therefore awareness is really important in implementation. It's extremely important to have objectives and targets. Set clear expectations of what we want to achieve within our business. Provide these targets to our individuals, our business departments, our teams. It may be that we have high-level objectives that get cascaded down, but it's important that people working within our organisation understand how they contribute to these high-level objectives, therefore cascading them down into more manageable targets that are trying to be achieved inside departments and teams, and how individuals contribute to them is extremely important. Not simply just having this, in the clouds objective or strategy that we want to try and achieve of a business. It's much more about how these objectives and targets are cascaded down through the business and how the people within our organisation can drive towards this. And remember, these objectives and targets are what we're trying to achieve through the implementation of our management system. Step 4 is all about roles and responsibilities. We want to start from the top and set roles and accountabilities, ensuring that the leadership understand what they're accountable for and how we drive these roles and responsibilities down through the organisation. Remember, we're clearly talking here about implementing a management system. Therefore, it's important that people understand their roles as part of the implementation plan. People have to understand that their roles may be able to align with the objectives and targets that are set. And we should always consider reviewing the roles within our business as things change and evolve as part of our implementation plan. And finally, step 5 is about measure and improve. We want to remove the perception and focus on factual performance. How are we actually achieving in this implementation plan? It's not just about having documents in a folder that people can go to. It's much more about the system and how it's used, and should be about the way we run our business. So, have we achieved what we set out to achieve based on the targets and objectives that we set ourselves? How well are we performing against them based on measurable data? And remember, measurement data can help drive positive behaviours within our workforce. Giving them feedback on what we are achieving and what they are achieving and contributing to is a very important factor. It's also important that we recognise the measurement will allow us to identify some weak areas that are not performing as well as we had hoped, and therefore we can drive improvement in these areas. Edward Deming said, "Each organisation is composed of a system of interrelated processes and people which make up the system's components." If we think about that statement, people are a profound element of any system to function. Therefore, we have to ensure a successful implementation through the use of our people and engagement with them for our management systems to be successful. So it's not about documents, it's about how they are used. Focus on the human factors as part of the implementation program, and remember the key areas of awareness, engagement, and always provide support where possible. My name's Chris from FQM. Thanks for listening to this short video. If you want to know more and understand more about the details of implementation of some of the ISO standards, you may want to have a look at this next video where we go through a detailed training webinar with much more focus on the key attributes of implementation. We'd also like to ask you to take this time to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn, and follow our blog posts on our website. Thank you.